So you'd probably think that gifting a home to either a family member or friend is the most generous thing that you could do. After all, this could be a life-changing gift that could set someone up for years to come. But what if I told you that this kind gesture could backfire in ways you never expect, like triggering massive tax bill, slamming the recipient with huge financial burdens, or you even lose control over the property altogether? So in today's video, we're going to go over the 4 main reasons why gifting a home to someone could cost you thousands. Then I'll share some smarter alternatives that can protect both your money and your family's future. So if you give someone ownership of your home while you're still alive, this will lead to a huge tax bill later on down the road when they go to sell. And the reason is the government sees this as a gift, and they're going to get taxed on the profit or how much the home has increased in value since that person has owned the home. And I see this a lot. Many families make this mistake. They want to, while the parents are still alive, they want to go ahead and put their children on the deed of the home to make sure that the home stays in the family. However, what they don't realize is their children are going to have to carry the burden of that huge tax bill later on down the road when they sell the home. And here's a better alternative, and this is actually what the rich do in order to avoid paying these huge tax bill, is they set up a trust. And what a trust does is while the parents or while you are still alive, you don't put anyone on the deed. You still maintain full ownership of the home, but then you set up a trust, and the trust will determine the inheritance of the home. Now let's go over why this one simple step can keep your family out of court that most people miss. So even if your parents have a will, a lot of times that will still must go through the court system in order for you to get legal ownership of the home. Because at the end of the day, a will is simply just a plan, and the probate court system is there to make sure that that will is legitimate and real, and it's also there to make sure that they're transferring assets in accordance to the state laws. Now, the issue with probate court is it's a very lengthy legal process. In many cases, this can take up over a year, and this is also very costly. So a big mistake that I see a lot of families making is they think that having a will is just enough in order to transfer their inheritance smoothly to their kids or their beneficiaries, and they don't realize the burden that this is putting on their kids. So what you want to do instead is you'll want to create a trust, because a trust actually gets to skip probate court altogether, because the trust is not just a plan, the trust owns the assets. So how it works is you'll have the trust owns the home, and then you yourself will be the beneficiary. And what you'll put into the trust or that legal arrangement is you'll want to say, when I pass away, then this is going to be the new beneficiary, the new successor. And this is how you can skip probate court and save your kids thousands of dollars or whoever you want your beneficiary is. So just by having a trust does not mean your home is fully protected. You'll want to actually move ownership of your home into the trust itself for this whole plan to work out. And a big mistake I see a lot of people making is that they start up the trust, but they don't go that extra step in order to move ownership of the home itself, or they think that cannot be done even if they have a mortgage on the property. That's not true. You can still move your home into the trust, transfer ownership, as long as it's a revocable trust and you yourself are the beneficiary. The mortgage company will not have an issue with that. So what you want to do is you want to actually put the deed of the house into the trust's name, and then you want to follow these steps in order to make sure it's done correctly with the county. Now, before I go over the exact steps that you need in order to get this done, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get notified every time I put a video out. So here are the steps of how to put your home into a trust. So step number 1 is you need to create a trust first. And to do this, you're going to actually hire an estate attorney to help you create one. Now, there's a lot of online platforms that are out there that will allow you to use like their trust templates that are at a fraction of a cost. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that that trust can be held up in a court of law. So hiring an estate attorney, even though it's going to cost more upfront, is going to be the best in order to make sure that it is done in a legit way. Now, the cost to create a trust is going to vary from state to state. It's also really going to vary on how complex or simple your whole situation is. Now, the next steps on moving your home into a trust, you do not need to have an estate attorney do this. You can actually do it by yourself, and this is how you're going to get it done. So you're going to find your current deed, and if you can't find it, you can always get a copy of your current deed with the county's clerk office. Then you're going to download a new deed, and you can either find this or online or contact, again, your county's clerk office to get a blank deed sheet. Then you're going to fill out that new deed. And how you're going to fill it out, where it says grantor, you're going to put your personal name, and where it says grantee, that's where you're going to put the actual trust name, and then make sure the legal description of the home matches from the old to the new deed. Then after that, you're going to actually file it. So you're going to sign it with the notary, and then you're going to go to your county's clerk office and actually have them record it. So here's another aspect to this. So if you're gifting someone your home while you're still alive and you're adding them to your deed, you're essentially giving them ownership to the house and they have control. And a big mistake where this comes into play is if that other person gets sued, then your house could be at risk, the equity that you have built up over time. And also, if you ever want to go sell or refinance a home, then that other person, you will need to get permission and them to sign off on it for this to happen. So a trust allows you to keep full control of the house to where you're not having to add anyone else to the deed while you're still alive. Now let's go over how to do this while you have a mortgage on it. So yes, if you have a mortgage, you can still put the home into a trust and transfer that ownership, even if the home is not paid off. And a big mistake is a lot of people do not realize that this is an option, or they think they either have to refinance the home into the trust, and this can be done at any time. But the catch is that the trust must be a revocable trust, and the beneficiaries of the trust must be the only people, the names that are on the mortgage as well, and then you'll pay the mortgage the same way. The only difference is you're transferring that ownership into the trust. So if you inherit a home through an actual trust, then you're going to end up paying a lot less in taxes when you go to sell that property. And the reason is, let's say that you give someone a home while you're still alive. What ends up happening is that person, if they go to sell, let's say you bought the home for $100,000 and then you pass away, they've already inherited the home because they were on the deed of the home while you're still alive. Then they go and they sell the home for $400K. Then they're going to have to pay taxes on their capital gains, which is going to be $300,000, and paying taxes on that amount. Now, a trust will help avoid it, and here's how much it will help avoid. So the main difference is when you have a trust and you go to sell the home, you are actually being taxed based on the current value of the home. So if the current value of the home is $400,000 and you're selling it for $400,000 because that's the current value, then you're not being taxed on any of the profit, as opposed if you were gifted the house while the original owner was still alive, they're going to tax you based on your gains, which is based on when the original owner, how much they bought the house for. So life changes, people pass away, people get married, and a big mistake that a lot of people make is they don't keep their trust updated. They forget to add or take away beneficiaries, or they forget to even add in contingency beneficiaries to make sure that that home or those assets gets passed around in the correct order. So you want to make sure that you put it on a schedule every 2 to 3 years. You're reviewing the trust to make sure that everything is properly situated to give you the most protected. And if you like this video, then you're going to love the video I just posted on what the banks don't tell you when buying a house.